Hello guys and welcome to this week's track guide. We are at Indianapolis in the Aston Martin and in sunset, or the sun has already set conditions. The track does not have any grip at all, so colder temperatures also don't mean a quicker lap time automatically. So just make sure to not have your normal ambition of being a second quicker and 10 degrees colder, for example. Just make sure to keep the car on track with enough grip to make it stick, and that is also the major problem we are encountering today. Grip, especially on the rear. We are often not quite safe with what we are doing because the rear is stepping out in the corner exits, and that is where we will need to have a look. Especially going towards turn 1, we are approaching the turn as close to the wall as it can be, so to speak, so that we can have the most momentum and the most range of motion, so to speak. Therefore, we brake a bit before the 400 board. That gives us the, let's say, fitting amount of time to make it before turn 1, but also not cut over the curb if we have a normal steering point. So we brake here and then steer at 150. It's of course not the meters, but feet. Welcome in America, but we steer at 150 so that we can slightly cut over that curb. It's not really nice with any car, so if you are in the Ferrari, I think I wouldn't really incentivize doing it. But in the other hand, with the Ford or the Mercedes, it is easily gonna work normally. So we bumped over this a little. That looks a bit weird from the inside because it's so bumpy. But nonetheless, after that turn, we quickly flick our steering to the left and do an upshift to get the grip down on the rear, and then we get over to the right. Nice power slide, even though TC is on. So it's quite special, but you see, we flick the steering around in turn 1, and then we go over the inside curb, and then we try to floor it out. After that, we let the normal trajectory of the car on this track carry us to the left onto the curb while we whip it around gently. Here, a bit before the end of the curb, normal steering point, just to make it stick, slightly braking to get the rotation in on the rear, and then full throttle out so that we can go left as far as possible. After this, we brake a bit before the curb ends, after the curb ends, so the curb ends here, and we brake around the same area. We don't go quite completely to the right because that's not really doable with the kink we have before, but we still try to brake in here and take a narrow line. It's a bit of a V-shaped corner. You can imagine it like the hairpin at Nürburgring, for example, where we want to let us be carried out a little bit, but still try to make it stick with a double apex. The first one is here, and then we get out a little on the throttle already, even though we're facing the beautiful Fanatec screen. We try to make it around the corner, and that was a bit, let's say, cheeky here because I hit the throttle to get rotation. That normally wouldn't really be done in a race due to tires, but I just tried to make it stick around. So second gear, full throttle, and swirling the rear around while waltzing through that slow corner. For the next one, that is really tricky, we try to get to the left as far as possible and brake at the end of the curb. And then we have a quite rapid steering input to the right, aiming for the grass, but you are not gonna get it anyway if you have second gear in, because it is so understeery with almost any car. Not the Audi though, if you do it right, and have the rear rotation. So you might want to try to aim for the grass, because you are then really gonna hit the curb nicely, and then you can get on the throttle and just try to not hit the grass there. It is really bumpy, better not do it, but getting out here is really important in order to have a good run down the back straight, so to speak. Here we brake at around the red board, the CrowdStrike board. 200 is that. We want to have a steering point at the end of the asphalt in the grass to slice this cornering curb, so that we are not jumping fully over it. It is really high, so I wouldn't really want to see myself jumping over this. GT4 cars have, history says, been flipped over this one, so it's better to just slice it a little to get the rotation done. And that's what we did here. Trying to not hit the grass here, because that will make you spin to the left. But also, trying to get the power down so we can have a rolling run with a slight brake for rear rotation again through the right-hander on the curb. Full throttle for a short moment. To the left. No throttle. Over that curb. Full throttle. Brake. Cut the corner and send it. That's a really rough corner combination. So, slice the curb, try not to spin, full throttle, curb, full throttle, no throttle, curb, to the left, brake, to get rotation, and full throttle out of the corner. And that's how you drive the middle sector, so to speak. Then we get out here to the left, try to make our way to the wall and brake in a straight line. So you don't want to stick to the inside and then go down there and then have like a 35-degree angle to the corner, if you know what I mean. You just want to have a straight line braking a bit before the 300 board. So if you brake at 300, it's too late. Brake before. Steer a bit before 100. Feet once again. Slice the curb and get out. So you see what I tried to do here. Going to the left, opening the steering, braking a bit before 300, slicing the curb, full throttle out to the right, and then we have that corner. It's quite tricky. Of course, you can do the normal line and drive where the asphalt is darker here, but we can also, with almost every car, I didn't really find a car which doesn't work like this, we can jump over that patch, which looks also really spectacular with the sparks. But we want to go to the right and then break it down to first gear. You can rev it quite a bit, so because you are gonna lose speed anyway through the corner, and then you want to throttle out over the grass, and that's one lap around Indianapolis. It was a 1:34.250.